We are now joined by the newest addition to the Minnesota Vikings family, defensive end, Yannick Ngakoue. Yannick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. No complaints.
Good.
Talk about your last 72 to 96 hours of, that transition of becoming a Minnesota Viking.
These last 72 hours has been crazy for me, just from moving and packing everything up to making sure my puppy is in proper training, getting them right. And also on top of that, learning the playbook. In a week from now, we'll be suiting up to go against Green Bay. So, it's just a lot. But, as a professional athlete and as just a true pro, you should be able to manage all those things. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to get everything started.
Later in the show, we'll talk about, the defensive side of the ball, the logistics of football. But first, who is Yannick Ngakoue, the person?
Yannick Ngakoue, the person, he's just, a fun, quality guy that's, always happy, but I'm happy, but more so serious. Serious, not a mean guy, but just focus on my work. I want to be the best I can be. I want to have respect in this league, so that's why I carry myself a certain way. And a guy that has true work ethic. I'm always going to work hard, always going to push my teammates, and that's the type of guy I am.
What motivates you?
What motivates me right now, one of my dreams and aspirations was to make sure that my mom was, fine and making sure she was financially secure. But that's over with now. So the only thing on my mind is getting a gold jacket and getting rings, and trying to get a ring this year for this organization and bringing it back home to Minnesota.
And that process starts today, and it keeps going from here on out. And just speaking of Minnesota, you've been here before. Of course, the joint practices in 2018. You had a share of what Minnesota is like. But talk about that experience. Was there anything that stood out about this team? Did you have any common knowledge of who the Minnesota Vikings were, during that time?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to take it all the way back to the defensive line greats. And it's kind of weird how Minnesota came and acquired me during the off season. I love Chris Doleman's game. I love John Randle's game. Those are guys that I studied and watched, and the way that they brought their pads each and every Sunday is kind of the same way I want to do it. And I know that was a different era back then, but just the tradition that they have here is outstanding.
You had your first practice yesterday, and being that this is a condensed training camp, and I know you've been staying in shape outside of being in Jacksonville the past few years, and even this offseason. But how would you assess where you are physically right now heading into week one?
Well, I'm definitely excited because it was my first time in pads since last season. It was a full padded practice, and for me not to be gasping and weeping for air, it shows that I've been doing what I have to do. Wait until I got this phone call to get this trade. So I'm excited about that. Just need a couple more days to knock the rust off to get my rhythm back, and then after that, we should be full speed.
The other part of being a pro is the mental aspect. So mentally, what's been some things that you've had to adjust to get prepared for next week?
Just getting acclimated, a different terminology, with the playbook, learning those new calls. It's not the same calls that I've been used to for 4 years in Jacksonville. This is a new place, so getting with Coach Patterson every day, trying to, harp those things and beat it into my brain so it becomes secondhand nature when I hear the calls on the field.
You talked about Coach Patterson, phenomenal defensive mind, but more importantly, a phenomenal human being. What are you most looking forward to, learning from him this upcoming season?
I just want to learn different things. Everybody knows I can do a cross chop, I can get the ball out, I can get sacks, but at the same time, let's make the game a complete game. Get knocking guys back even more versus the run. Getting more tackles for losses. I showed that I could play the run last year, but let's do it again. Let's do it each and every year. And I know Coach Patterson will raise me to the level I can be.
We know the story, how he developed Danielle Hunter. You get an opportunity to play with a guy like that. We all know his stats, youngest guy to 50 sacks. But for you, being on the opposite side and just playing alongside him, how excited are you to, have that 1-2 dynamic duo or just be able to learn from him?
I'm excited. I feel like we both complement each other. I feel like he's more of a power guy, and he can get you with speed. And I know I'm a speed guy, and I can get you with power when you're not thinking about it. So we can complement each other a lot and give each other tips on how we rush.
Of course, Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, the rivalry. You know that's a big thing here. I don't know if you like fully understand it, but what do you know about that rivalry? And like, is there something that's on your shoulder right now playing against the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, actually the Packers was my first game ever in this league in 2016, and I had a bad taste in my mouth how we lost that game. So I just want to show those guys what I can do and just run it back and get this W for Minnesota.
Couple more questions. Subjectively, you want to be a better teammate. You want to be able to learn and grow. But objectively, as far as numbers for your goals, are there numbers attached to your goals yet? As far as like, hey, I want to have this amount of sacks or this amount of TFLs or forced fumbles?
Well, the sacks will come. You just got to beat the man in front of you. A great wise man told me that. Calais Campbell, he told me, don't ever worry about the numbers or the stats. Just worry about beating that man in front of you. And when you beat that man in front of you, you look up at the end of the year and you see what you have.
Of course, everybody's talking about the stats, the 37.5 sacks. We just, it's not all about the stats. But I think one thing, if we're talking numbers, the 14 forced fumbles, like, you don't see that every day. So what goes into that? Is that something that you're cognizant of when you are sacking the quarterback? Hey, I want to get the ball out and just make a big play.
Absolutely. Getting the sack is cool, but you give the offense that you're going against another opportunity to drive the ball down the field. But when you get the ball out, you give your own offense the opportunity to score, and I feel like that's special. The greats, those guys, they give their offense opportunities to be able to score again.
Lastly, what can Minnesota Vikings fans expect from you this upcoming season?
Well, they can expect a hard, determined worker from number 91. Also a guy that will definitely get the ball out even more here and make more plays and just be an all-around team guy. And also, I'm just trying to give back to this community as well. There's a lot of kids that come from similar backgrounds I come from, and I'm just trying to reach out to those guys and those kids and make sure that I can do the best thing I can do for them.
Man, looking forward to it, man. Best of luck.
Appreciate you, big dog.